Okay, so we are live again, and I need some music as always. And I think I've just had a look into the code a few minutes before, and I think I found the issue. So in the treasury example, we set the authority of the escrow wallet to be the application state, and we set it to be the we set it to be the user. So let's change that to be the escrow PDA. And now it makes sense why we sign with that seed here. So this should work now, I guess. We can try to run this and maybe can airdrop us some soul before. Perfect. Let's actually just try to run it. Test. So the program failed to complete, and that's because of the transfer. We are the transfer instruction is, can we just transfer? From the wallet to withdraw from to our escrow wallet, and the authority is the user sending. The authority is the user sending. The token program is program info token. That's the same for us. So can we actually see the message in the logs? Then we know, and actually add one here as well. So we can debug this better. Unused import, unexpected token. So we need this here. And I guess this should solve the issue. And we forgot the can we then let's see. Seems like we are in the test, but not doing anything. Okay, what did we change? The whole thing passed. What did we, let's actually, we can check. We just added a lock. We called this transfer instead of SPL transfer. We and we changed the authority. So I guess the authority was the issue. Let's have a look at the transaction then. Because we now should have so we now have, we've sent 50 cents to, this should be our PDA. The owner is EO6 and the owner is EO6, so EO6 is interesting. EO6 is an account that we passed, and it's the fourth account we passed. 1, 2, 3, 4. The escrow PDA. Right, so the escrow PDA is the authority of the ATA where we just deposited. We created the PDA. So I guess we initialize the token account here, which got created here, and then we do the transfer. So let's then remove this lock, and we can remove this lock and have a look at the PDA. It should be this one. Yeah, the PDA holds this token. Account. So we have a token account where only the PDA can you know what, let's set in the test okay, it would make sense to build a front end for that and then actually test it. But what we can do is we add the identifier buffer to the seed like that, and here we do the same identifier. Oop. And then we add it here, of course, as well. So and now we basically have can we do a public function close escrow? I guess we had this in the example, right? Like pullback instruction. So let's just copy the struct and do the rest by ourselves. We have so and that's the identifier. Identifier. Then let's not call it application state, we call this escrow PDA, which has the type state. The escrow wallet is a token account, that's fine. We don't have a bump, but okay, like that and like that. User sending, user receiving. Mint of the token being sent. And the refund wallet is the user sending token account. So let's do the close escrow. We have a context of context, and this is called close instruction. Oh, let's actually keep it like pullback, and we rename this to pullback as well. Did we provide a bump? No. But let's see. So let's create a transfer instruction. And we want to transfer from our escrow wallet to our user's sending account. Oops. Like that. And the authority is I guess here we keep the no, I think we have to change the authority to the escrow wallet. Is that right? And we sign as state. So function Transfer funds out. Takes the user sending. Is that right? So we don't need to mutate it here. User receiving the amount token program, the escrow wallet, the user sending token account, system program, and let's see, this should be fine. So let's see. So we need a transfer instruction. We need a transfer instruction from the escrow wallet to the user's sending token account, and the authority is, I guess the authority is the PDA, yes. So the authority is our escrow escrow PDA. It's the escrow PDA, right? And you make sure it has a user sending, user receiving, and mint of token being sent. User sending, user receiving, and token mint, is it called? Token mint. So transfer funds out needs to be the escrow PDA. So far we needed the user sending token account, the escrow wallet, the token program, didn't need them. So we have a transfer instruction from our escrow wallet to the user's token account, and the authority is our escrow PDA. So we create a new context with signer. We have the token program as account info. We have the transfer instruction, and then we need, of course, the outer as slice. And then let's create inner. And inner is a vector with the wallet, user sending, receiving, and the bytes. And why do we sign as wallet? Because we send from our wallet, and here we were sending from our user and the user had to sign. Okay, okay, makes sense. Then let's create the outer. We sign as outer and we have the transfer and say message funds transferred out. So this should be fine. This takes in the context pullback instruction and not a amount, but a identifier and an unused bump. Escrow is the escrow PDA and the amount is the amount. Then let's remove all this and say, yeah, transfer funds out. With the amount which we got is the amount, the whole amount that's in the escrow, the token program, the escrow wallet, and the user's sending token account. So this is all we need, I guess. Why did it need more here? Because we don't need these state bumps. So let's actually copy that and say moved funds Can we build this? Yeah, I guess not. So we have a lot of errors. Identifier bytes, where are you? Okay, so let's put that in again. Cannot find program result in this scope. Why? Because it's not a program result, it's a Here it says it's a program result, but it says program result everywhere, so I guess it's just called result now. Yep, so this error should be fine. Cannot find escrow PDA. Then let's say, ooh, we want a escrow PDA as well, and the account info. Transfer funds out. The third one is the escrow PDA, so then let's add escrow PDA here. And the escrow PDA is the escrow PDA. So cannot find context in this because we need the user sending and the user receiving. And we need the identifier bytes, which we get from the identifier. So we need the identifier as well. So let's add them here. User sending, user receiving. So let's add them. User sending, user receiving, and the identifier. This has been fixed. Yep. So token mint has one token mint. State as token mint. Or do we say we need these? Okay, let's actually remove this. I'm not quite sure. Constraints refund wallet. And the refund wallet is the users sending token account, so of course function transfer funds out is private. Yes. Do we have it multiple? Yeah, it should be private. The function takes 4 arguments. But 3 were supplied. So I guess we don't need it since it has to be successful if the transaction goes through. And escrow wallet amount. escrow PDA has the type. Escrow PDA has the type state, and state has a amount, so this should be fine. Then let's anchor build. Of course. So function transfer funds out is a private function, yep. But it should be a private function. Like that's what we want. This function takes 8 arguments, but 3 arguments were supplied. Where do you take the 3 arguments? So you are not happy with anchor private function. Public struct program is the program, and then you can define does it stop complaining if we do it public? But I guess then it needs a context. Yeah. Okay, so let's just do it in here. We create the transfer instruction. We should basically be able to just copy it. So maybe it's happy now. Yes. So that worked. Let's see. Can we here add can we escrow account? How do we do the fetch? So hooks anchor. Get the program account type fetch. Program account type fetch. Program account escrow. Oh no, how is the it's state. State fetch escrow PDA, and then let's expect let's actually log the escrow account. Let's create another pull back funds is async, yes. Oopsie. And let's close it. And we have a const transaction equals await treasury methods dot pull back escrow. We can just call it pull back and let's actually just anchor test. So again here we get the error user receiving is unsafe, so we can just add the check here. So where's this one? Okay, so we should name this pullback. Then here we can call pullback identifier. Pullback shouldn't need a pullback, just needs the identifier. Here identifier amount bump. So then let's just use const bump equals and add the bump. And now here something failed. Initialize escrow. Failed. because something is wrong with the seeds generation. So, user sending, receiving identifier. User sending, receiving identifier. User sending, receiving identifier. Sending, receiving identifier. And sending, receiving identifier. So let's just remove the identifier again for now, because this seems to be triggering. And here, of course, again. And now we need to remove it here everywhere in the code. So we don't need the identifier. That means we don't need the identifier bytes. And I think we don't use the identifier then in here. So but we set the identifier, yes. Let's try that again. So, initialize escrow fails. The program failed to complete because it already has an escrow initialized, I guess. So let's continue with the pullback and do accounts. And you want the user sending, user receiving. The escrow, let's do it like that. Escrow PDA, escrow PDA. Then you want the escrow wallet. User sending, user receiving. Mint of token being sent. Mint of token being sent is the mint. Then we want the system program, which I guess we don't need. Token program we don't need. Rent we don't need. User sending token account, I guess. Yeah, user sending token account is the user's ATA. So let's ATA. I guess this was just, yep. And then RPC. So now you should work. We can pull back funds now. And this should, let's actually do, let's update our escrow wallet and say our escrow, or do we already do it like that? Oh, that's the pullback. We take our escrow and then let's say if this was successful, escrow amount is 0. And then we should be able to get the escrow and check like that. And let's actually add a sleep, just because we may want some time in here. So this should now work as well, I guess. And let's do here a check if amount, no funds to pull back. So anchor test. So line 65. Mutable borrow occurs here. Do you need so can we just say escrow to account info? Why did we need that? Why do we need the escrow PDA? Here. So this should work with escrow PDA, I guess. Account is not initialized. Expected this account to be already initialized. But it is. we initialize it here, and that's why it fails. So let's or did we not expect what's this? Let's just remove this until we did the process. This may be the cause, because I'm not sure if we set these things, but they should be set. So yeah, I don't fully get it. So I guess the same error, but let's have a look at the escrow PDA. And was this our escrow PDA? Yes. And this is a different address now than what we have here. And this account does not exist. Why do we have a different one now? And then why does the first one fail? So escrow wallet. Let's actually fetch this. Let's do this. Oh, we can't do an await here. No, we can if we do this async. So now we can the user ATA can be moved out here, and we just pass it in here, and we don't have the mint there, so let's pass it below the mint, and now we can remove it here as well. But let's console log await then the treasury, the state of the PDA. So we need to get this account address again, and this was done with just public user sending, receiving. Ah, the user receiving changes every time now. So, but if the user receiving changes, then let's look here and say, let's just say that we are the user receiving. new public key like that. And no, I want it to work with a random user receiving. And why does this fail? This fails because is this a different in here? No, we want the user receiving. Let's copy that. Log it in here as well. It should be the same. But maybe because it's inside the describe, maybe we have to move it out there. I'm just looking if the AC, yeah, it turns on. Huh. 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 So we don't even go. Huh? So we don't need to log the escrow PDA in the escrow wallet because they are every run different since the user receiving is random. So let's anchor test again. User sending and so at least we know went in the test. So we log the user receiving and they are the same in both. The transaction signature escrow account got created. So amount to be amount point to number. Then let's see, comma, what did we do? Number. Well, let's don't add a check here for now. We want this to pass. But this seems to have worked. Pullback funds. So initialize escrow. That failed because expected blah 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 to be equal. So they were actually the same, they were just, seems like some, how the numbers handled. So pullback funds failed to send transaction, program failed to execute, and that's because I want the here, and let's have a look. We want in the pullback funds, we want the escrow PDA, we want the escrow wallet, we want the users, we want the escrow wallet, we want the user sending, we want the user receiving, we want mint of the token being sent, the user sending token account. Mint of token being sent. Let's move this above these. User sending token account. So this is fine. And you want the identifier, which isn't used right now. Okay. So why did this fail? Pullback failed because, can we actually have a look at, yeah, no funds to pull back. Let's remove this. Not quite sure if this might be the error. Anchor test. Account not initialized. So now both are failing again. Though we didn't change anything on the initialize. I just wanna run it again and see if the initialize thing is random. Why did the initialize fail? Instruction Instructional program failed to complete. But yeah, both users receiving are the same, so can remove this check. And then we haven't touched anything here, so this should be passing. Identifier, amount, and the bump. So, initializing escrow. Okay, now we get a better error. Cross-program invocation with unauthorized signer. Okay, we cannot. But here, now we can at least check if these two are the same, so we can do. I expect to be equal to that. So, and I guess we can do I expect to be equal to user sending public key. So, but why unauthorized signer? So, to make it transfer from our escrow wallet. We need to sign as escrow wallet, I guess. Or do we need to sign as do we need to sign? We need to sign. So if we initialize, we need to sign as state, because our PDA has the authority over the token account. So to transfer funds out, we need to sign as PDA. So let's change this here to state, and now we should be good to go. And here we log the escrow account, and it's here to number, and here I want it to be 0. Anchor. Test. And can we get the balance? Let's try that later, if we can get the USDC balance, because the USDC balance should go up, should go down and then up again by the 0.5. This is actually this was quite actually quite helpful to understand more about ATAs and the authority which that only the authority over the ATA can move the funds, and basically the ATA is just another account which holds the tokens for your account. Huh? Did we actually pass this thing once? Can't see because... So one... Passed. Initialize escrow passed. And... Initialize escrow passed. And we created accounts here, I guess. So this is our ATA, and the authority over it is DX4. And DX4 is the 1, 2, 3, 4th. DX4 is create account. So DX4 is the right create account. So I guess the second create account is the created account GS, and this will be now initialized. So GS is the is the token account. And our PDA is DX4. Right, the owner of the initialized account is DX4. And now we transfer why shouldn't we be able to sign as state? State is state, sending, receiving. Here's where state is sending, receiving. And the authority, right, is our escrow PDA. So I guess we have to sign as escrow PDA here. And this is exactly what we do here as well. We sign as escrow PDA. Sign as escrow PDA, right as we do it here. To move the funds out, create with signer. New with signer. New with signer. The authority is our escrow PDA from our escrow wallet. Huh. Ba. This should not fail. This should not fail. Why is this failing? Let's try one thing. Let's try... Let's try wallet here. I guess. This should now fail. This should now fail. Account not initialized again. Why the fuck is it not initialized again? Why does this fail like every second run? Why does this fail every second run or so? Does it not get... So it failed because, yeah, the first... Huh? If we just run it again... Is it maybe because of the bump? That's weird. Does it have different bumps? May it use different bumps here? This could be one thing. Both failed again. Why are both failing again? It didn't change anything to the initialize. Both are failing again. I want this to be the state. And let's actually... How is the bump handled here? Bump vector. To the bytes as ref. Bump. Punkt. To the bytes as ref. So this is using the bump now. Let's add the bump here as well. And then here we have the bump. Let's say bump equals bump. And here bump equals bump. And bump equals bump and bump equals bump. This is again failing now because the trade bumps is not implemented for initialize. Huh. How do we do this? So let's not do this. So bumps are unused again. But why is the... Don't we have enough? Maybe because we don't have enough balance. Solana balance? No. Anchor. Test. We had it running. What has changed? This is so annoying. This is really annoying. We didn't change anything to... Yeah, come on. So now... A writable account. Is this... is it because... Let's say... Let escrow PDA be dead. And let's say this is escrow. And this is escrow. And this is escrow. If no, the... Let's just not write it to 0 or set it to 0. Let's just leave it for now. Does this get us an anchor? Test. So this is now fine. The light is really weird. I have to put the light on, turn the light on. How do I do that? Oh, this is the outdoor light, okay. Did at least, yeah, now first passes all the time. And second, yeah, you're kidding me. State, user sending, user receiving. User sending, user receiving. Let's actually Let's actually do it like that. Here as well. So we can move these two. So something is weird with the pullback. And I guess my USDC balance is going down as well. Yeah, now we have just 7 USDC left. And no bow fail again. So initialize is failing randomly. What did we change? We changed something in pullback. Why the fuck is pullback failing? I don't get it. Why is initialize failing? We changed something in pullback and initialize is failing. This can't be true. Why? Let's make these revert these changes. And if it now passes again. Oh man. Initialize failed as well. So this was not the no. The thing causing it. So actually we call escrow wallet only once. Then let's just put this in here. So user sending token account is only called once. Then let's put this here. The escrow PDA is only called once. So let's put this here. Now we have the token program left. Then let's just put the token program which I guess we could hard code. Let's take the token program and put the token program here. And now it should be actually is my light, no, my light is still bad, but I want this to work now. Really, I'm I'm that close to punching in. Ah. I just wanna punch this thing. Why the fuck? Oh man. Both failed. Oops. I will just run it again. I have nothing changed in the code. I will just run it again. Maybe it's something with the random key generation. I don't know. Hopefully it's something with the random key generation. And maybe it passes now. We will see. But do we still have our 7 USDC? We still have our 7 USDC. So, what's the inspector? Ah, okay. If this thing passes now. Whew. Oh man, why the fuck? So initializing passed and we haven't changed anything. So this has to be something with the random keyed pair. And pullback failed. Why is pullback failing? Don't we provided the bump in the pullback? No, but the bump isn't used. The bump isn't used. Why is pullback failing? We use the state. No, that's... So we have the state. We have to use sending, receiving. It's the right, sending, receiving. It's the right order. Then let's just copy this thing and paste it exactly as it's here. Did this change anything? We sign as this. We paste the transfer instruction and the token program. It's in both cases the same. So token program and where is it? The token program. But and then we sign as outer again from the escrow wallet to destination wallet, and we sign as state. So with instruction from it's initialized, that's fine. From the escrow wallet. Is it called escrow wallet? It's the escrow wallet. And the authority is the PDA. We send from the escrow wallet to the user sending token account. To the user's sending token account, which is a token account. And the owner is the user. And mint is the USDC. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. Why the fuck is it failing? So, it fails because of a cross-program invocation with unauthorized signer or writable account. What if we remove the mutate? Is it then not writable anymore? Because let's have one last check. No, here they are both mutable. And they should be mutable, mutable, mutable. But maybe let's try again with this removed. Context accounts, escrow PDA. Then does it need the copy trait? Escrow PDA, which does not implement the copy trait. So we actually have to say this is, what was it before? It was the mute, so maybe it was actually this thing. I think this just deserializes it. I don't know. Clear anchor test. Hopefully this was why it failed. Let's see again. I think this is the longest stream I've done so far. I just wanna check Instagram real quick because I'm waiting for a message. But I have a message. Ah, wrong person. Shit. But okay, I will watch that later. So let's have a check here again. Actually, I want to watch it on my phone. Now I have to download Instagram. Let's just wait then until this is finished. And check WhatsApp. So, man, the first one was successful. And then cross-program invocation with unauthorized signer or writable account. I guess our account is writable. Why? Or the signer is unauthorized. Could it be that the signer is unauthorized? Do we pass something wrong here? The signer may be unauthorized. Let's say it's not the writable account. Let's say the signer is unauthorized. Then it's unauthorized because why is it unauthorized? Why is it unauthorized? The authority is the escrow PDA, so we should be able to sign as escrow PDA. And the seeds of the escrow PDA are dead. So the only thing why this may fail is because of the bump. But if I set the bump, can I set the bump? I wanna Google this. Can I no, I want an account, I guess. Is here, but this is not what I want. Account or accounts? No. Can I anchor Solana set bumps so I'm trying to write a simple Solana which uses a PDA. Here's the program code. Here's the client code. Sandbox bump. So we create the PDA, but shouldn't we then be able to, in the initialize, what do we do with the PDA? We don't do anything with the PDA here. So I guess, so let's say the bump is the PDA bump, and then say PDA bump, PDA bump, so it passes. At least the type matches. And now, how does it set the bump? For generation program, it is present hash function seeds and a function using a collection of seeds and a program ID as input. As its output can't be predicted in advance and can't be controlled in any manner, the definition of newly generated address will lie on the curve. In such cases, some curve which is prohibited by Solana, Solana will use a different set of seeds or use a seed bump to find a valid address on the curve. Short bump will be used to... So, can we... It works correctly, but I have a doubt. I get sandbox bump from find program address and input this, but it isn't used. Does he take in the bump? He takes in a bump. And then sets the bump like this. That's the totally wrong way. If I set the bump within it like this, error occurred. So I delete the instruction macro from the program code. So is bump value not needed, or does anchor system use it automatically? Yeah, anchor uses it automatically, but okay, so got an answer. Never pass bump via instruction data. Init should not specify a bump explicitly. Recommend store bump in PDA. Recommend subsequent use of seeds should always specify a bump from the account data. 3 and 4 are recommended but not necessary, since you can still use a naked bump constraint, but less efficient since fine programming this needs to be invoked and validated. So, is this actually the second approach is feature. How do I set the bump? I wanna set the bump anchor length set bump set account bump. So we have the bump in the instruction. Okay, that's how we access the bump. So then let's do this. Bump. And we need the bump vector 2 bytes as ref, 2 bytes as ref. Bump 2 bytes as ref. And then let's copy this. This is an initialize, and let's put it here as well. We add the bump. So we have the bump in both. Let's do it here as well. And let's follow the docs. We get the bump from the instruction. So let's set bump equals bump here as well. Now let's say for the wallet I don't care, I just want it for the state. So let's do it here as well. State bump equals bump. So we need the PDA bump. So let's go. Let's actually try this one. And we now get the error again. Bump, trade bumps. The following other types implement trade bumps. Pullback instruction. Alright, so pullback instruction supports. Why does the pullback instruction support the bump? Derive accounts, identify a bump info. Derive accounts, identify a bump info. What's the difference between those two? Nothing. So why are you complaining? Bump equals bump. Is it a comma? No. So bump target should not be provided with init. But here we do init and we set the bump. First bump, second bump, bump, bump. And then you can actually do, yes. But why? And here it uses bump with oh man. This is annoying. And this actually can't be the reason. Let's just set it to bump again. And why don't we log? Let's actually do this. Let's log and initialize. Oh, this doesn't make sense. Let's remove the bump out of here. Let's actually remove the bump out of here. So actually, yeah, let's try and use it. Let's try and use it. Let's try and actually use it. Let's use it in both. Let's call this PDA bump. Let's call this PDA bump. And then let's call it here PDA bump and PDA bump, PDA bump and PDA bump. Guess you don't like that, so you want it like that. PA bump, PDA bump, and of course here as well, PDA bump and the PDA bump. And then let's set this to PDA bump. Hmm. So you are not satisfied with that. And if we now just do it like that, and here we didn't even change it, so is there a fucking... So no, you don't like that I use it in here. Tell me when I drop it while borrowed. Then let's do bump bytes and then use bump bytes and actually do it here as well. Bump bytes and then we use bump bytes. This is the last test I'm running. Or at least if the initializing passes. I'm running tests now until the initialize passes, and then hopefully we see... Oh, it's over 2 hours now. And then hopefully we see the pullback passing. I have to take off the headset. Oh man. So, pullbacks funds just... Oh, okay, so with the bumps, now this works. So this actually was the issue. This actually was the bumps were the issue. And this now only fails because... Yep, we didn't set it to 0 in the pullback. So what we will do now is we will set the escrow amount to 0. This should work. So let's do this mutable. So now you fail. Okay, then let's keep this and let's do set escrow amount to 0. Let's do mute anchor test. Dereferencing here, so dereferencing, and then we are good to go, or what? No, both tests should pass. This would be awesome. Ja! Ja! Ja. Oh man, I'm so happy. Okay, this works. I guess... Okay, so we pulled back the funds. Let's actually... Oh. Okay, no, let's just keep it that way and push the changes. Funds working. This is not a fix, this is a fucking feature after 2 hours. This is a feature after 2 hours.